It's October 20th, 2021. Bitcoin has broken all-time high. The question on my mind, what is next? What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. Let's jump into the video. Before we do, just a little pound. Congrats. Bitcoin all-time high. We were just here back in April 2021. Bitcoin hitting an all-time high. Here we are again, just above $66,000 as I do the video right now. Not a ton of separation from this last all-time high in April, but that's something we're going to be looking out for. As we jump into this video, just want to note, this is not financial advice. This is my crypto journey. I'm tracking it. I'm sharing data with you. And especially in this video, we're going to be looking back to 2018, data that we were tracking. And the video really, and I have it in the thumbnail or the title, talking about $90,000. This is kind of a question on my mind at this point. And just for reference, $90,000 from where Bitcoin is right now is right around 36% away from where Bitcoin is. So let's dive into this. The next move for Bitcoin, what to anticipate for Bitcoin. Because yes, right now Bitcoin is hitting all-time high, but it's just another number. Whether we broke it or not, whether we were still down here at 64,000, Bitcoin is still doing its thing in this general vicinity, and we have to continue to monitor. But let's go back to 2018. Not going to show a clip, but this is a video that I did. Bitcoin price trend, $90,000 in 2021. I'd say Bitcoin is still on track for this. Now, this was like, I think I made this chart on that day in December 18th. I'm not exactly sure, but this long-term macro trend, this chart that you see, a bunch of data points on it surrounding these halvings. You can see the 2016, 2020, 2024 halvings, was talking about Bitcoin in a bear market low and getting ready for this next bull cycle, going to $90,000 in 2021. So I'm not going to show a clip, but I want to do an update. I want to track where are we with kind of this prediction. Let's go to this exact chart, and this is the Brave New Coin Liquid Index chart. So it's a day old. So the price right now on this chart is 64,000. Obviously, we're a little higher than that, but this is the chart. Here is where I did the video back here in 2018. Down here, $3,000 to $4,000, and look at Bitcoin. This is the trajectory of Bitcoin. It has played out so well. And so there's two reasons I'm doing this. Number one, I want to revisit this. I want to just look back. I started this YouTube channel all the way back here, basically at the beginning of the bear market, was just doing videos and videos and videos all the way down to the bear market low, which is what this video is. And then we're talking about and anticipating for years what is happening right now. And I simply just want to revisit and just be like, this is awesome. And I want to mention and underline that by saying, I'm not patting myself on the back, everybody. This is, especially back then, this was brand new stuff that I was charting. The Fibonacci on the macro was not something that was guaranteed. It's just something I really wanted to see how it played out. And the Fibonacci is kind of how we were identifying that bear market low. And it really played out really well. And there's that line. That's a 786 macro Fibonacci line, trading under that on the macro. Here's the next one, potentially in play. And this is the second reason why I'm kind of doing this video. That data that we used back then to talk about the bear market low, the data that we used to track this move into this bull market high is the same data that we're going to track to kind of monitor the next potential bear market, the next moves for Bitcoin. So let's do this. When I did that video in 2018, we're talking almost 3 years ago, December 18th, 2018, Bitcoin was all the way down here. I mean, I think it was like right around $3,500 or so. Bitcoin up currently over 1,700%. Now, at the beginning of this video, we noted that it's around 36% from hitting the $90,000 area. So that journey that Bitcoin has taken, it's taken a journey of, and actually, you know what? That's not even right. Bitcoin's seen more gains than that. Let me take this on the real-time Bitcoin chart so that we can actually see the true gains. So from the $3,500 area right around there to where Bitcoin is, Okay, still 17 to 1800% gains. Bitcoin now only 36% away. That's the journey it's been on. And so, do I think, and this is the question, we have a little bit more than 2 months left of 2021. This is my question, will Bitcoin hit $90,000 in 2021? Now, on top of all of this, I want to say something. We go to the weekly chart. I did a video because the trajectory and the speed and velocity of Bitcoin going into this bull market, and here are the bull market doors we were tracking in November, Bitcoin breaking the bull market doors. The trajectory that Bitcoin was on, I said that I think I went back and I wanted to update this video and say, I think Bitcoin is going to surpass that. So let me just say that this isn't even a true, this was a prediction back then, or at least revisiting or looking at if $90,000 in 2021 is possible. But I've updated that since then to say, I think Bitcoin can surpass that. Will it? Will it even hit 90,000? I don't know, everybody. This is just me tracking it along with you. But this is what I want to talk about on top of all of this data. When we look at where Bitcoin is right now, when I did that video, this was based on the cycles of Bitcoin, the halving. 2, all-time high around a year later. 3, a correction, the bear market. This 3-step part of the cycle. And if we're going to Bitcoin now, Bitcoin's been doing some very, very interesting things that suggest that this cycle, this Bitcoin bull market cycle, could last longer than the last one. And if that's the case, I think $90,000, a 35% move, Bitcoin can very much surpass that. Now, here's just one piece of data worth noting. From that 2016 halving to the bull market high of 2017, it's around 511 days. Now, if we look at Bitcoin from the 2020 halving to where Bitcoin is right now, we're already right around 511 days. Is this going to be the top of the bull market right now, this week, to kind of give a very similar time frame in terms of bull market cycles? Or is something like this going to happen, where Bitcoin is hitting a halfway mark of sorts back in July? And what that is a swing high of the bull market high to the bear market low. And let me clean this up a little bit. Let me get rid of this Fibonacci here. This 1618 line of this macro Fibonacci, we've discussed this before, it's right around $29,000, is a very similar 1618 line that Bitcoin saw in July of 2017, kind of in the middle of that bull market, marking the middle of the bull market with a lot of gains to go. Is this 1618 line going to prove to be a very similar area, marking more gains to go for this bull market? This is something I'm watching and something I'm anticipating. There are many people out there saying this is like a super cycle. Bitcoin's going to last in this bull market longer, and it very, very well could. I think one thing that is really worth noting, and I'm kind of throwing just this out of nowhere, but the S&P 500, the traditional markets, everything that is going on right now, you can see that getting ready to break record highs. Look at this. It's like, I'm fairly confident that's less than 1% away from breaking record highs on the S&P 500. And it's kind of no coincidence that as this is happening, Bitcoin's breaking its own all-time high. What's going to happen with global markets? What is going to happen with just outside of the global economy, but everything else going on, the fear and volatility index? There's so much volatility in this world right now. We have to really keep a close eye on that to get a sense of what could be next for Bitcoin. But we do know from a just purely technical analysis perspective on this weekly chart, this really could keep going. Notice also this symmetrical triangle that we have here. Symmetrical triangle on the long term going from the last bull market high. When I did this video back in 2018, all of that structure was not even there yet. So it's so cool to see the setup for how Bitcoin would even reach that $90,000 area. If we go to the chart now, there's the setup. And we've been talking about it since the setup. It's charted here, a breakout of like $90,000 to $100,000. It is right there on the screen. Bitcoin on its way, only around a 36% move away from hitting basically the target out of that symmetrical triangle. What is next? What is in store for Bitcoin going into that move? Now, on the daily chart, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit just so that we can have something to watch really in the next couple of days. I'm still keeping a close eye on this Fibonacci retracement that we have here. And what that is the previous resistance area that we're still using as very important, as a very important area. So it's the last all-time high to the Bitcoin swing low, and that's that 1618 area that Bitcoin hit. And it's Bitcoin. We were tracking this. We saw the first bit of resistance at the 618 line down here. Then we broke the 786 most recently, not long ago. 786 right around 57,000, just above. And Bitcoin now getting the separation we want to see. This is extremely bullish on this midterm chart extending back to April. And Bitcoin now, what I'm looking for, obviously, is it's in price discovery. Let's see if Bitcoin can keep going. I mean, can we break 70,000 before we see any retracement? But either way, this area down here of just around 57,000 down to $51,000, confluent with the 20-day moving average that just crossed the 50-day moving average, is a very, 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 very important area that I have my eye on for a potential dip for Bitcoin, a potential consolidation, a retracement, a breather, and a time for Bitcoin to re-energize after this move to the upside. So what could that look like? From where we are right now, it could look like a move to the downside, 13% to the 786, 20 to 25% to the 618, also down to the 50-day moving average. We see those moves so often for Bitcoin as it's retracing, as it's setting up the next parabolic move, consolidation to the 50-day moving average. Say Bitcoin can make a move to, say it can make a move to $70,000 before getting a retracement. Then we're looking at separation of almost 20% alone from the 786 area. So it leaves a lot of room, a big gap for Bitcoin to consolidate. That's what we're looking for. So as Bitcoin is now in price discovery, I'm looking to see if Bitcoin can continue to get separation so that there's room for a nice big dip on the short term for all of us to experience, as we often do in these Bitcoin moves. I mean, look at this. This is a perfect example. Bitcoin was just boom, all-time high, right? And then bam, throwback. Look at that volatility on this daily chart of 20 to 25% on the way up. So remember, these things happen often, and just look at it. Happened right here, 42,000, boom, right down to 28,000, right to the 50-day moving average. Be prepared for those moves. On the chart right here, you saw what it looks like. That's what I'm tracking. Congrats on all-time high, everybody. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.